Hello, chat. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? I don't even know if this thing works anymore. If you can hear me, if I'm loud, if I'm not loud. Oh my goodness, I haven't done this for a long time. Let me control the music a little bit. Give me 1 sec to get to your subs and resubs and gifts. Give me just a few minutes. I'm just trying to figure out my life right now. Just give me a bit, alright? Give me a sec. Definitely hasn't been a month. It has been a month. I'm sorry for that. I truly am. I actually feel truthfully terribly bad for not. Give me 1 second. All right. Switch over really quick. Sorry, I got a lot of oh boy. All right. Okay. Let me. Sorry, I feel like I'm a new streamer right now. All right. Let me go through these really quick. I just want to make sure I address all these. I think we ended kind of like right here before I stopped streaming. So if you're not here, you are here with it. I'm still gonna go through these regardless, because it does mean a lot to me that you all have still continued to support the channel, even though I haven't been live in a month. Hey. So just give me a sec, alright? I'll get through these. I have a little conversation. Let's chat. So starting back in April, gosh, we're mid-May now at this point. I think Spanner was the last one I had when I was live. So County Yukimara, Strig 101, Lin GU, Zemi, thank you for the tier 1 for the 6 months. Loki with the tier 3, thank you Loki Pan-chan. Salmon Potato, Cass with the resub for 8 months. Zemi with the gifted to Baz. Cass with the 69 bitty, Zemi as well with the gifted subs, Cass with the gifted subs, Anonymous as well, thank you. Cass is the 469. Oh man, that's another story. Hey, 469. I don't know if 469 is gonna be on duty much after yesterday. Wait, what Mike is it? Hold on. We told you before that you're the most important person. Your health is the most important thing. Stream when you want to stream and we'll be there. Can't say I didn't scream when I saw the notification. Oh, well, thank you, Monkey. I appreciate that. Thank you. Were PD comms bad? Yeah, they were bad. That's, sheesh. I don't think I've ever had a shift, even on TJ, where I have like been there for an hour. I'm like, I'm done. I'm good. Like, there's no point in me doing this right now. Sorry, I still have a white bar there from the code from Among Us last time I streamed. What was that? Cass with the gifted subs bunch sheet, Cass with the 469, Zemi with the gifted the Whippy, and the Cass with the gifted, Zemi with the gifted, Cass with the gifted, Cass, Zemi, Cass and Zemi, like, you guys go back and forth over here. Thank you both for all that. Then Cass with the 500 biddies, Zemi. We had some gifted from Zemi as well as Cass. 5686. Thank you, both of you. Seriously, I feel like the majority of these over here are you all. Oh, jeez. You're probably gonna look at this VOD and be like, oh man. But seriously, thank you all for the support with that. I realize once again, I've been doing a shit job at trying to like communicate back with everyone here and kind of talk with everyone. 1500 biddies for the gambling money. Oh man. Yeah, I think unfortunately my experience in Vegas was more about not gambling but just eating good food and things like that. So Yeah. So Cass, Lapis, Daisy, Artemis Wolf, Octographer, Zemi with the 5 gifted on top of it, Loki with, oh jeez, did I miss 2 resubs from Loki there, tier 3? I'm sorry, Loki. Niffler with the tier 3 as well. There's been a fair, listen, I got into chat today and people were offline gambling. Just saying. Zemi had a 20 bomb. Holy Zemi. Boogie Komaka with the Prime. Thank you. Zemi. Jin and Pain with the tier 2 for 5 months. Pink Uni the gifted sub. Thank you, Pink. Zemi with the 7 months. Cass with the gifted to Jonathan. Just recently, Zemi with 1 last night as well. Anonymous. Zemi with 10. Yo, Zemi, Jesus. And then give one to IDDQD while we're sitting there playing PoE last night. Big Uni with the 5 on top of it. Resub as well. And then the 500 biddies. 5 gifted from Zemi. Katie with the already sub for 5 months at 11 minutes ago. Doc, so happy to see you and everyone. Thank you, Brett. Appreciate that. So happy to see everyone else here as well. Brighton Mars, happy to see you as well. Thank you. Ambassador Kiki, hello. Hayne, how are you doing? 9 months as a baby. Oh boy, it's a boy. What do we name you, Hayne? I'll let you choose the name. Terracida with the resub for 9 months as well. Permanoob gives a sub out. Cheshire 4K. You will buy me a drink to live in Vegas. Thank you. Yeah, I try not to. I try to keep it kind of like business out there, and I had a lot of customer meetings, so I didn't get to do a ton for fun, except for the last day I was out there. Blazing Banshee, thank you. Good to see you streaming. We've missed you. I missed you all as well. Thank you. 5 months dad is back. I'm not dad. Come on now, not dad. Jojo from the 90s, 8 months already. I've enjoyed every moment. Missed you, DocWizard. Thank you. I missed you as well, Jojo. Gosh, every time I see your name, I have like 10 different ways to pronounce it. Perinosia. Am I right in that? Am I wrong with that? I probably mispronounce it every single time, but thank you. I missed you as well. Permanoob. Card Trick. Quinn Koala. Is it really him? Yes, it is him. 9 months as a girl. All right, Card Trick. You also get to name him as well, by the way. Koala Cutie. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Hope you're doing well as well. Neriel. Thank you. YouTube Maniac, thank you for the resub for 5 months. Pink Cutie with a 5 bomb. Thank you, Pink Cutie. Shara Hart, thank you. What am I dreaming? I don't know. I think I might be dreaming, or you might be dreaming. One of us were probably both dreaming at this point. Hangomba with a gift sub to I am Dre. Sunshine with the resub. Alex, Julia, Rose, Hard to Beat, and Anti-Meme. Thank you all. Appreciate you. All for the gifted. I said you get to name. You said 9 months is a baby. I said you get to name the baby. Give me 1 sec. So yeah, kind of Q&A time a little bit, or just have a little talk. Yeah, so just wanted to take a few minutes and obviously address kind of why I haven't been streaming, and kind of things that, you know, server wise, whatever. He has a face. Yes, I do have a face. Hello. So yeah, work has been a thing that's been picking back up. I also started doing my MBA stuff again. Obviously, a lot of you know that did take up a fair amount of time towards the end. So I was doing finals, doing a lot of final projects. Webcam doc, yep. How goes my education? So I just got done with that last course. So I'll probably start another one here coming for the summer and get into that as well. But people stream progress face cam, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. It was like a back and forth with that. So it's towards the end of the semester. I had a few projects to do, and one of them I just honestly, I didn't even realize it was due like the next day, and I spent a lot of time. So I started to realize, like, man, I was probably spending too much time kind of doing this than I was doing with that, and I was also paying for that. Anyway, so I decided to take a little bit of time with that. But yeah, server wise, obviously the update hit. I think a lot of people were burnt out before the update because we're all kind of waiting for it. We're like, oh yes, give me next best thing. And oh man, you know, I think a lot of us had even more wind taken out of our sail with it, even though we are part of a whitelisted gang, and I'm so thankful for that, and still have the ability to do a lot that we had in the past. um we made all of our money from bank busting, right? And I feel like majority of what is going on, if we had if the club had $10 million in the bank account right now and we had something that's steady, I don't think any of us would ever worry about kind of future and what we're doing. I think we'd all gear up and go to war tomorrow if we needed to. um but when it starts to get to the point where our main revenue stream is gone, and we start looking at each other and starting going to possibly like personal bank accounts, then on top of it, it becomes like people start getting a little bit more defensive about that, right? Because that's time that you're doing essentially for yourself that you want to put into it, and it becomes a little bit more of a, why am I going to spend my 8 hours that I do outside of club activities? Basically, like, can I'm happy to sit there and grind and sell meth, right? But when it gets to the point where like there is something I'm working towards personally as a character, where that is said that's not needed, man, like that really kind of like, what else am I gonna do? Because all right, here's the thing. Here's assets are permanent, right? Assets don't go away. Asset fees are things, sure, yeah. Um, guns go away, right? They deteriorate. They're not something that is consistently there. Um, so I personally have always wanted at least a asset on the character, and that's what I've been working for, right? Um, I was not happy to have that conversation last night about getting rid of or basically like fucking off loans and selling them back. Like, now you're starting to affect people's livelihoods and enjoyment that they have outside of the club on top of it. I was not happy to have that conversation. So unfortunately, what I'm saying is that money is basically becoming the issue with everything, right? People are starting to get snippy over different things. People are starting to look at different things like it becomes like, yo, why are we doing this if money is like a huge thing? Um, because we start asking people to do things for money, but we're not protective of what we have and want to throw it around, right? So that's where it becomes a little bit harder for me to justify sitting time in character, grinding things for my own personal side to it. Well, I'm happy to do it for the club. I have no problem doing that. Because there's things I like to do outside the city. I do have a life outside of GTA. Thank you, Nix, for the resub. Appreciate that. And when that starts to affect the other ones, I don't enjoy it, right? So because if I have to grind in order to keep things alive, I don't want to do that. And so that's probably why a fair amount of why I don't stream, because I have a goal that I want to accomplish. A lot of it's grinding, and yeah, you're right. But as BBMC viewers, we don't care as much about your progression. Want to see your interaction with the city? Yeah, no, listen, I do have a lot of interactions in this city that probably a lot of you question a lot of TJ's decisions that y'all probably don't have the information about. And that's why if you want to have a question, go ahead and ask it. I'm sure you always make fun of TJ being on the phone, but let's be real, it's an RP server. If I don't talk to anyone, it's not RP, unless I just go ahead and don't really say anything. um, love my interactions with Bunny. Bunny's an interesting situation, actually. I'm half tempted, just for the RP purpose, to try to get him the AWM. I'm sure I can. Just for RP. I already know it's a trap. We already know it's a trap. In character, we're like, yeah, why? Why does this make sense? But even just like throw a bone for RP, I've thought about it. But I don't think that's my decision to truthfully make, right? Even if I do that, like, God, I don't know. Yeah. How does TJ feel about Pez after the circle talk? I mean, I believe. I mean, TJ expressed his feelings of what he felt with Pez. Once again, this is not Pez the streamer. This is Pez the character, by the way. Please, I have the utmost respect for Pez as a person. He does a lot for not only the server, he does a lot for the club behind scenes that not a whole lot of people will know. So please do not confuse the two here, right? I do not want that to be anywhere on anyone's mind, please. So TJ and I guess his distrust started probably when there was a hard push towards this missing money thing for a period of time. It felt like TJ was more on the defensive, and that it was almost accusatory towards him and members of the club. So it went from like this relationship where I tried as TJ to give him money, and it would he would just run away. We're like, hey, I'm trying to help the club out over here, and if there's not the willingness to take the money, what are we doing, right? It was probably 2 weeks that I tried to give him like $180,000 of things that I've had sold and cleaned and everything, right? I'm like, yo, why do you keep like why do you keep going away with this? So it became a little like annoying to try to like just hold on to this money and keep track of everything. And then we have it in the briefcases, and the briefcases turns around and we're saying that we're missing 400,000 with it. And it was just like this moment where it's like, hey, I'm trying to give it to a secure location. If we're having people have issues with a briefcase on top of this, maybe make yourself a little bit more accessible for it. So it became more of like a hassle, and I hate bugging people in RP. Like even the Agent O stuff right now, I hate having to call Jalen and Hutch. I'm like, yo, come down. We got stuff to chop. I hate that. I hate having to bug people, and even having to like bug Pez for it. It got to the point of like, yo, you start to think about it, right? Does he just not care about him giving him money? Like, what starts to happen, right? Each time that he would see him, he'd be there for like 5 minutes, he'd be gone. So you start to see how like the 4 months that TJ's been in the club, you have the start of it, which was like the whole arc, and TJ was super excited to be around Pez, right? I think the magic knife worked now. No, there was no magic in the knife to begin with. I don't understand how it's like magic. There's just a knife saying that if you don't trust me, just use it on me. That's it. I don't know how this whole magic knife thing came about. I never said in character anything about magic. There's nothing that was like some ritual about it or whatever. I'm just like so it became like this thing of like, all right, who are you interacting with every day? Right? And I had the same people that we were interacting with. And each time that you wanted to have an interaction with P, he'd be gone or it'd be about money. And it's just like, I can't just chill with the guy. The last time I got to chill with him was the whole investigation, like, ooh thing. And it was fun. I had a good time with that, right? And then I think it was the Brawley Boy. Was he there for the Brawley Boys? I don't even remember that. Or it might have been the James games. So it's started to see for TJ is like he's not around as much. The money becomes an issue because we're hearing about it, but he's also trying to give you money. It's like, okay, is he really interested in the club anymore? So the Bass and the Knight thing obviously are there. It was passed around as a note. He has a screenshot of it that someone sent him, whoever the hell it was, but he sent it to P and like it's like, yo, here's the Bass Knight thing. All right, cool. Hey, listen, if you want to go after the people that like Precious Sam, chill. If you want to go after the people that like targeted them, sure, go for it. I don't care. Like, but a lot of that arc has still kind of focused on that, and a lot of arcs, you know, I was over kind of that when I started to try to work with them for an actual business side when I could still scrap cars. That makes sense. I was like, yo, whatever. Like, if you want to do it, here's the opportunity. Go for it. Anyway, so it was a combination of that, and then the H&O thing started. D and B obviously gave TJ the goal to work towards it. When D specifically says to TJ, this could be working towards your patch, of course TJ is going to take it personally. Of course TJ is going to take it personally when we're not getting authorization, when the VPM and the PM both want it done, and it's the possibility of TJ getting a patch out of it, and also his own bank account, his own time they put into it. When all those things kind of lie in that same timeline, and to have that conversation as to where we're at, it wasn't like we weren't getting the money back. It was a temporary thing, and it just didn't seem like it was very supportive. So it kind of felt like the fear of missing out, like shiny new toy thing, like I'm not going to support it because I can't do it thing. So that kind of rubbed TJ the wrong way. Not only like was he not seeing P, he wasn't getting, all he heard was we were having trouble with money things, but I wasn't really seeing him a lot, right? So that's when I started bringing up like the two club feeling with it, right? So you have kind of like the Dundee crew basically per se of, you know, what we're doing and running and, you know, getting into crime, shooting things, whatever. And then there was the DJing crew with it. Two separate vibes, right? And it became a thing, right? People are like, yo, you should come to DJing crew. It's not like, why would I have to go to DJing crew? Aren't we like the same group? Why would you say come DJing? We are the same group of people. It shouldn't matter what part that I'm in. We should have the same type of vibe or vision of the club, irregardless of a tsunami. That's my opinion of it. So hearing that, you know, from one side not being communicated to the other of what things were happening appropriately, Jesse kind of served a lot back and forth to TJ of what was happening, and Jordan as well. CV spearheaded my BMC arc. I can get to that in a bit. But yeah, so it's like, why do we feel like as if one side is not functioning with another side to it? You have one side that wants to tax people and is potentially getting awards with people. The other side is just like send it crazy side to it. It's just like, all right, we're not on the same page. It never felt like we were on the same page from either side to it. So a lot of it sort of go with what's going on, Eric the Banana? How are you? With the pit stuff, right? I've been all for this, and I even said to you all many times that if TJ ever did anything, he wanted to focus more on the business side to it. Chat, TJ has been in so many shootouts over the past 2 years that I could do without being shot. I could do without having the shootouts, right? Um, there was a period of time where they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and do that, right? I think TJ is at the point where like Lang is with CB. Like, what's the point, right? I think that's where more so his enjoyment of shootouts are at. It's like, why, right? Um, shootouts make for good video. Yeah, it's I know, but y'all asked me like, where would TJ more see himself? I've always said TJ would be more business side, and to hear like a lot of the stuff for the pit, being now a personal business was actually infuriating to hear from TJ's side to it because that was the one thing he really did want to help with. Um, I remember going up on his side and going up to one of the market stands. It was filled with it was Faye, it was Damien, it was Jordan, I think one other person. I couldn't even sign in to the stand to work. That's like there's a limit of how many people can work in a stand. I couldn't sign in because there's that many people, right? So then I don't know if this was a miscommunication. I heard that the actual stands were supposed to just be hang around run and that jackets weren't going to be a part of that. Okay. So what's our involvement now? So it just felt like I didn't know where to even go with it anymore. So Damien had always expressed that he was on the business side. So I pushed Damien. If communication is the crux of the issue, on type. Okay, Wakandan. Because I would say previously I would call Pez maybe 6, 7, 8 times during a storm when you knew he was around, but he would never answer. Actually, even today, I called him as well. No answer. So you can say, like, why doesn't he talk to him? Because he tries, but never gets a response. That's why. That's why. It's not for a lack of trying. You all like to say that TJ is on the phone all the time. He's tried. So it's more of like one of those things that you keep asking someone over a period of time, and what's the point where you stop asking them? And that's where it's at, right? So shut the fuck up, turtle. Anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of what started to grow with it and started to fester with it, was like hearing that it was just that side of the business. It was no longer BBMC business. I pushed Damien towards that. I'm pretty sure Damien himself secured like 1.5 million just in Damien's side to it, right? Actually, let me look really quick. So I'm gonna pull up everything. Is it? Hold on. So each one's 100,000, right? Let me look. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6 there for like pre-book stuff. Wait, 1, 2, wait, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see 11 from Damien's side that he pre-booked. Maybe even one of them more. So I'm like, push him to work with P, and to have it be like this is P's money when I know Damien did a shit ton was actually another kind of distrust thing, right? So that was kind of the start of everything. Was that plus the whole Cleo side to it, which TJ is not a fan of Cleo, right? TJ hasn't been a fan of Cleo since the first time they talked. Which Cat McAfee? Maffey. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. So when she reached out to him, there were 3-hour-long conversations, right? They were not things that were just like, here's a conversation and we're done. These were hour-long conversations. Right, I agree, Turtle. Like it was a group effort, and I don't think it was just one versus the other, right? Damien told him that he got paid out and was going to take a portion of it. Apparently, whenever it got launched, I'm not sure whatever happened with that afterwards. Apparently, there was some percentage that they agreed upon or whatever. I don't know, but he said he got paid out. Yeah, it's a group effort that was kind of, I saw from the Porsche side to it as almost like a small betrayal from the club side to it as well, the GT3, not the H101. So that's what started to lead for a lot of distrust. Was a fair amount of combination with it. So the Clio side to it didn't make sense to him at all, because why would the club go after someone and then have someone else want to involve them or continue to involve them? Which, I mean, RP. It's RP. Why not? Fuck it. It didn't make sense to him, right? So it's like, are you now going against the club? That was the thought. Are you technically going against what the club was decided on? Okay, so that whole thing happens, and keep in mind, we go back to the original conversation, those conversations where T2 had no trust in her whatsoever. Because the first one I've explained this on stream. The first one was, I'm unsatisfied with the PD. The second one was, I'm going crazy. The third one is, I want to kill whoever is involved with the PD, right? So he has no trust whatsoever. So he's getting involved with Michael's side to it. So he asks Michael, what's your stance? What's your opinion? Like, what happened? And he goes simply like, she just won't stop leaving him alone, to the point of like, there's no point. Because every single time that they tried to be together or tried to get away from her, she just kept coming back, right? So it just solidified his stance on her. And then if you keep going, probably maybe like 3 or 4 weeks after that, Jesse and TJ have a conversation about a quote unquote open relationship. And he goes, can I have your permission to basically like see other people, but to use it for information? Yeah, sure. So Jesse's goal was to weaponize Cleo for a bit. Did Michael tell TJ told Dundee? No, that wasn't. So the whole Jesse TJ, when they were chilling out and like sitting down, that was not like us trusting. That was establishing with ulterior motives. Niffler at 32 bomb. Nifflerwoods is a casual 32 bomb. Thank you. You're getting whiplash from this explanation. I know it's hard for, like, I'm trying to summarize like 5 months of RP right now, and that's hard to do. Thank you, Niffler. Really do appreciate that. Seriously, thank you. Make sure if you got a gifted sub from someone tonight or today that you thank that individual. Seriously, thank you. It's so kind of you. So TJ's eyes haven't opened. I have no idea what's going on. Okay. So anyway, that whole conversation, like her being around, it was I mean, it was enjoyable, but the motive wasn't to become friends, right? Motive wasn't to technically trust. It was more for kind of the quote the weaponization side to it. So kind of sucked that Barry had TJ go get like decked out to go do like the whole shooting and torturing thing to it. He's like, yeah, come. We're gonna do this, yada yada. And then D's like, nope. Patch or like high command only. And later to learn that Buck was there, it was just like, huh? Eh? Like, y'all have your shit together right now? Like, what's happening right now? Like, we don't seem to be on the same page with anything. Anything. And then those when those pages just don't ever line up, it's like it becomes frustrating. So it's not only just like TJ's distrust of P, it's starting to be like we're not on the same page with anything, and it's being a catalyst to other things, right? So the catalyst plus the distrust is like it's one is expanding on the other. Does that make sense? Right? So the more that like TJ doesn't feel that the club is on the same page, the more that it accentuates the other thing, right? So yeah, when that happened, it made no sense and to TJ at all, and the way that Barry explained it, I don't know what else happened or what else went into it. That there wasn't exactly a reason for the relationship to continue because even P himself said when we started getting involved with her, no, right? So later on, P does tell TJ regards to the highwayman and him and her being connected, and then the interrogation thing happens or the investigation thing happens with Uwu, like kind of SBS funny things, and P and I fucking love him for this. It has a very interesting way of like putting information out in like a like in a very subtle manner, right? And so he said something about in regards to a major decision that that she had to make within like 2 days, right? So it was like, huh, okay. So TJ picked up on that, talked to Cleo. Cleo told him that she was going to kill Brian. Okay, there's your connection. That's why the two of them are together in TJ's mind. It's almost like, and I used this analogy yesterday, later space. Used an analogy yesterday. It's almost like the Wedding Crashers. You know, like the funeral scene at Wedding Crashers when they start going out and like trying to hook up with people at funerals. It's like the time of vulnerability is the time to get them, right? What does CJ feel about Cleo in regards to having to convince the club administrator? I'm not sure what that message means. Not sure what you mean by that, SOS. Yeah, so it's almost like the time of vulnerability. So yeah, I don't know. It was I understand like why it happened, right? But yeah, so it's like the club wish is one thing, or apparently the club, which there needs to not be the club because there's apparently evidence that was not. It was more of a personal. It was a Bondi moment, which Bondi moments to TJ are becoming very, unfortunately, not what they seem to be. Like Chip's thing with the whole warehouse and being demoted. If the club's on the same page with it, don't fuck with other people with it, right? Like, be clear, and don't get the Pags out of here. Listen, the Pags look like dolphins, okay? They look like weird dolphins, please. So I guess what I'm saying is that it doesn't feel as if anyone is on the same page with anything, right? And that is starting to accentuate more issues within it. And when you get to the island, D's obviously trying to hide something and acts in a way that a leader should not act. He tries to cover something up. It's almost like a kid getting caught, right? It's like, to the mom and dad, a kid went and stole a cookie out of the cookie jar and he's got it in his hand and the kid runs away to go hide it, right? But he comes back with crumbs on his finger. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't help anything. And then TJ later learning that the facts that P had apparently, he said to the club in a very serious moment that he had not told her any secrets with it. Later to learn from Buck that, and others, that he had. So in a moment of facing everyone else, it was the lie to the club, and then the whole being invited to the wedding after TJ talked with Michael that they were not invited to, or she was not, and Michael would not attend the wedding. So it's like those two facts, like, why? It's very small. Like, listen, who cares about a freaking wedding? I'm just gonna be real. Who cares about some wedding? I don't get, like, why is that even like a thing? But the relationship has never been good, and I was always very suspicious of it for TJ because Michael never cared anything about the Cleo side to it. Which made no sense, right? It made no sense to involve anything with it. He was like, yo, just stay like a mile away from her. Just stay a mile away. So hearing that, it was like, why are we doing this? Right? Yo, what up, Kate? Love from Katie / Nate. Hell yeah. Yo, I love the Colin, Nancy, like BBMC relationship. Nancy's freaking amazing. So when you have an I gotcha moment, like an aha, you're hiding the intent of what truly happens with it. So there's two issues. One being the tape issue that was whatever hidden and not played for a while, and that the actual act of doing it. And then there's also the Cleo Cody lying thing as well, plus whatever is happening behind the back and telling members or telling club business, yada yada. So instead of addressing two issues, they go together and they start deflecting off of each other, right? They start literally deflecting off of each other, which should not be the thing. That is a sign of terrible leadership, unfortunately. But you also think it's a mountain, right? So as there is a mountain, shit runs downhill and cracks start to fall down the mountain. So if a strong leadership is not there, people start to question it, right? It's kind of like why people have PR departments in most organizations, because whatever goes out and whatever is said matters, right? It keeps the employees happy at the organization. When mom and dad are fighting, and other people are seeing it, that people are not on the same page and that the rules are not being enforced, there becomes once again a major catalyst. So you start to add effects upon each other, and it doesn't bode well. It starts to change the tone of the club, right? It doesn't lead to a positive experience. I think that's where people just were like, dude, whatever. Like, it was whatever. So we had the circle meeting. Go to the circle meeting. And no one's really addressing either of them. So TJ goes ahead and does it. He's going to speak his mind. I think it'd be truthful to not speak his mind on anything that is happening there. because he also has spoken with Barry, he's spoken with Junior, he's spoken with a lot of different people in regards to things that have been happening with the club. And for him to stay silent would not be his character, right? Because he does voice those things. And if it's an area that he's going to say it, TJ will say it. Meanwhile, me in the background's like, oh shit, just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. But I'm like, TJ, the character, would say this. TJ is very vocal about things. As we've started and stated before, he does challenge people. Me personally, I'm just like, yo, whatever. Like, let's just get to all this over with. But I wanted to stay true to what he does. So he did it, right? And I think it was very much a softened version that could have gone very, very hard in the paint, but tried very much so to keep it very PC. Yeah. He could have gone a lot harder, but he didn't, because the tone of the meeting wasn't going at people's throats. The tone of the meeting was working together, and so he toned that down, right? Yo, nomadic savant, thank you for the resub for 3 months. I already go hard on TJ. Yo, what up, Toro? How are you? Heard my man got raided the other day. Oh man. It'll go hard for you too. Oh man, hey now. You bricked up. Yeah. So kind of reading the tone of the meeting, it was more of like an apologetic thing. But what happened with it was that, all right, D becomes a new person and doesn't like what the club has become, right? And thinks that we need to be more involved with civilian side to it. Needs to kind of do, and wasn't happy with where it was going. All right, well, you're the agent of change, my friend. Lead and others will probably take a look at it, right? So set the example that you want to see other people set. So to this day, TJ still believes that the rules are unfortunately selectively enforced and that they mean nothing right now. Keep in mind, TJ was not part of the Wolfie situation. He was not part of Riley. He was not part of any of those situations, right? But when he joined to where he's at, he has not seen any enforcement of the rule whatsoever. And so when those rules are broken, what's the point of them? So he still has a, what do you want to have happen versus what's actually going to happen? Because if you want to sit there and like have rules, let's make them actually things, right? If you're going to make a club, we need to actually lead a club and not just be there and selectively enforce it. So that was a big thing that still kind of hits with TJ right now. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the present with it. What about Collins shooting D? Does TJ see that as a punishment or something else? TJ sees it as our inability to communicate. That the club is not able to work through issues itself, that they would rather resort to shooting each other or shooting other people that are close to them because they can't talk something out. So I don't think that anyone was technically in the right there. TJ doesn't think that Colin was in the right. TJ doesn't think that Junior was in the right. TJ doesn't think that Dundee was in the right, or that Cody Pez was in the right. I don't think the entire island situation, anybody was in the right. Nobody was in the right with any of it, right? If you actually want rules and things to be enforced with it, Colin needs to be addressed independently, and not just like, oh hey, here's an aftermath bullet. No, 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 no. So here's okay. In the moment, is that truly a punishment? Because now what you're doing is that you're saying that Junior's actions were the punishment itself, right? So now you're accepting by saying that he gets nothing from this, right? You're accepting that Junior's actions were correct. Does that make sense? So because Colin did and got what he did and saying that that's the punishment, you're now validating Junior's actions of what he did and saying that was totally acceptable when TJ doesn't view that as acceptable at all. That doesn't make any sense, right? So that doesn't make any sense to him. Junior shooting Colin or saying like above the patch, I can understand that probably more, and I'd say out of every one of them, that was probably not that it was right or wrong, but I think it was wrong. The less severe of them, because there was a challenge without any resolution, and he decided on the resolution. So instead of like having them stop and figuring out what the hell to do, it was just like this clusterfuck. And I think everyone knew it was going to happen at some point anyway. I would not envision that conversation with Dundee and Colin being in the ICU, truthfully. But now that we're kind of back from the entire grandma's conversation, there wasn't much change from last night. And last night, I felt like it was still back to the same thing. It was, let's go ahead and shoot cops. We need money. Sell your own shit. So we talk about needing money. We talk about needing war. But why are we shooting cops then? Other than like a content thing, which I can understand content. I don't know. It doesn't feel like we say one thing but we do the other, right? That's why I think that TJ looks at Barry as the true PM with it, but Barry always kind of caves to D and supports D's decision with it, and I think they're kind of one and the same. I don't think one is good for the other. As in making and saying one thing and doing the other. I'm not saying like Barry and D aren't good for the other. I'm saying what we're doing as a club and how we want to lead it, and then not sitting down and taking the time to figure shit out. When you do that, we're gonna go back exactly to where we were at. And in 4 months from now, 3 months from now, whatever it is, the same situation is going to happen. If you want to clip it now, go ahead and clip it now, because you know what? It's going to happen. This is how it's going to be. So, unless something drastically changes, or we actually have something that, if we go back to the root of all this, probably money related, where we can get anything back. And I'll say this in a kind of PC way with it. And I don't know if this is a true thing or not, but if I personally was a dev and saw that, you know, things were happening where I have someone that is like negative $2.9 million in debt, why would it be incentivized to give someone a business that is $2.9 million in debt that wants to kind of go around the systems that they put into place? I would not be incentivized. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I mean, I wouldn't want to work for that. Like, we're actively going around systems that were designed to screw people over, and we're going around them. So, yeah. That's from when I used to run TFRP, the big streamer server before NoPixel. That was a perspective of a lot of devs that we had, and I had a lot of dev meetings with people. They looked at people and said, Are they actually abusing things? Are we doing things? Why do we have to put time into fixing other things? And so they just wrote it off, right? They wouldn't want to do anything with for certain people. So I don't know if that's mentality and it's the assumption. Please don't make that more than what it is. But I would not want to. Not meddling with the past wars may stop waking up. With possibility of upcoming wars, you feel a lack of money and members not waking up. Will the club hold on? If the club doesn't solve what they have going on right now, I don't see it lasting. Oh, what up, Kate? How are you? How you doing? Unless they actually have a solid plan to attack things, I don't see it personally going much longer. Unless they resolve it. That's just the vibe I get. I love everyone in the club as is, right? I would miss the hell out of everyone else that's there. You know, I think it came to realization to TJ of how much actually he missed Jordan. Even though he gave him a little shit. He sent out the other day I played Bailey. Yes, hello there. How's everyone doing? Hi there. Miss Nancy Drew, yes. Well then, I hope you're having yourself a nice day. Yes, I played a judge. Yes. I feel like everyone has that realization when it comes to it. Yes, Bailey was my first character on the server. Bailey was like 2 years I played that character. Before I branched into anything else. Bailey was also Bailey. I just sounded like Malachi there for a second. Bailey. Bailey was also the first, or I guess TJ was the first character from a judge perspective that also had a cop alt. By the way, previous to the entirety of like 2.0, it was hard to become a cop. There was a lot of like restrictions on it. It was wow, baby. It was extremely hard. Like the hiring for cops on 2.0, it was like you had to be like hard recommended for it. And so yeah, that was the first judge character, and people were actually worried about it, of having a judge main with also a cop alt. So yeah, that kind of set a lot of opportunity for others to do it. But yeah, I do miss actually playing Bailey a little bit. I look at the docket sometimes, I'm like, holy shit. But scheduling is the worst thing ever. And if I had someone that would schedule my court cases, I would do everything. I would do it more. I would never, ever. I hate scheduling. I'm not an administrative person like that. Anyway. So yeah, back to the BBMC talk. Unless they actually figure out what they want to do as a club and figure out, instead of like asking people to sacrifice everything that they have personally, because now that becomes at what they do as a core and things that they are doing as only club things that they do for enjoyment, to make money. For example, like if I was hunt, I can go hunt and go give the money to the club. I don't care, right? I would not say that sitting at autos is good money. I hate the money at autos, but I love the people there. But there's also an outside enjoyment where you're working towards a personal goal. And to have that being said, that what you're working towards, you should not work towards, I think was the wrong thing to say. Everyone wants to have a goal. Everyone wants to work something towards in character. And to be told that you need to kind of fuck off with that was very kind of telling of where we're at right now as an organization, because we don't have money coming in. We have nothing coming in. Right? We do not get banks. I could technically give everyone like the boost money that we do. I mean, I already pay the people out for it, but yeah, especially Antonio. Antonio's worked so hard for the NSX, man. I actually feel for him. To like if he was part of that conversation, I feel like Antonio would have crumbled right there. He would have crumbled because he's put together like presentations. He has talked to people. He's been all about this G&E thing that he hasn't been able to get back from Wrangler. Antonio has made this his mission. Oh, sorry, he was there. I apologize. He's made it his mission to basically get everything and do all this so that he could feel a little bit satisfied to what he's doing, right? And it takes a lot, right? It takes a lot to do that. And I would be like crushed to be like, no, you can't do that. To work so hard at something and be so close to it. And that's kind of how it was with the Porsche in the H&O thing. It's just like you work, and then at the end just be told no. It's just like it leaves a very bitter taste. And I don't think that was the right conversation, the right way to go for it. But D's perspective of money is skewed because he's $3 million in debt. Yes, I agree. I absolutely do agree. But the club needs to find different ways to do it. Hey, Katie, does Nancy have any options for a club for a legal business, please? Oh, man. Listen, I can only sell so many freaking car bombs, okay? Those are limited. Those are limited. They are not in like mass production. I felt terrible even having like gotten 3 for CG. I literally felt terrible. I was like, yo, these are supposed to be like very rare. And I even felt bad asking Michael for the remote bomb for a personal one, right? I was like, damn. Ooh, like I want to keep these things rare as much as he does, and they want to be meaningful. So it's like this give and take. Can I sell them? Can I not sell them? What's kind of the threshold with it? So each time that I ask Michael for him, I'm like, oh boy. Like I hate asking him for people. Once again, I think this goes back to even me personally. I hate asking people for things, right? I'd rather just do it myself. And I think that's kind of bled into TJ. I don't like to have to rely on other people for things, and rather just be able to get it myself if I need to. So going back to H&O and like having Jalen and a Hutch scratch things, I'm like, yo, let's chill out with that for a second, right? How much of a cut does TJ get from the car bombs? 50%. So TJ gets 25,000 out of it. I give 25,000 back to Michael. When he got him the Espinos information, Michael let him keep all that. So I think I made 75 off that one because that was 3 that I sold CG. And he's like, yo, keep the money. Money is, or information like that is gold. So he said, yo, keep that. So how good is TJ's bank account? You can help. Hey. Listen. Hey, I was talking about this earlier. I've always viewed TJ as a business type person, and I started this from his character when I left, is that he's always wanted to be more business related. That's why he had asked you about the arena. If it comes down to shooting, yeah, sure, he can do that. But his thing is he wanted to help set the club up so that they had the funds they needed to have. And he felt like he could be more impactful with the connections that he also had from the PD side. Let me help you all? Okay. All right. Well, I would love for that to happen. I'd love to work with Nancy and everyone else. Seriously. The arena's dead. The arena is like some of my fondest memories. Hold on. I'm gonna bring something up. So, Kate, I think you've seen this before. Let me see if I can find it though. But the arena is so fun. I had our team commissioned a painting from it, or a sketch from it. And give me a sec. Because I thought it was really cool. I thought that was like one of the coolest things that we had been able to do and be a part of. And that was freaking amazing. So I love the arena. I had a lot of shoot, I don't show offline people. My Discord. Sorry, I'm trying to find someone's DMs. But actually, you know what? I think it's on our wiki page. I think it's on the wiki page. So having the arena was freaking, it's one of TJ's fondest memories, actually, on the server. Give me one sec. So yeah, TJ would love to be more involved with that, and do that. I'm not gonna lie, I think that'd be fun. I enjoy building and making things happen. I really do. I see the trophies. Yeah, we still have the I still have the gold trophy from the first place one from the arena, the first opening of the arena. Okay, let me go fan art. Okay, so yeah, if we sec. So we had this commission for our team, so from the arena side to it. So I paid one of our members here in the community, their significant other, to go ahead and make this. So this was after we had won. So you can see like all the paintballs and everything else that's exploded on the actual photo. So I enjoyed it that much. So I was like, you know what? Whatever it costs. Costs a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's how much I enjoyed the arena, Kate. Was that yeah, it was super cool. I had hoped at some point that maybe it could have like made its way into the MRPD, like just as a little still frame photo. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, here's the MRPD, like, or the LSPD, whatever it was, PD's first place victory. Like, you know how like a photo frame, like, you know, you go and say like, here's the achievements, or like the bowling things, the awards, if you have a bowling league, but like, you know, hey, here's a small photo with our photos saying, hey, first place Cerberus Arena photo. That would have been cool to be able to do that, right? But even just from a memory standpoint, it's one of the fondest memories I have on the server. So let me back over here, and then I'll go back to the camera. Yeah, so that's always, I thought, was going to be, or try to be, more of TJ's kind of side to it. That's why he has a lot of conversations with different people. I don't think he's terribly bad per se with really any group, truthfully. So yeah, you know, that's why he works at Autos. Working at Autos isn't for the money. Working at Autos is for the people and getting to know people. Yeah. You've seen people ask, there's only so much. I know. I understand. Oh man, you know, I thought about calling you in character the other night, or last night, after the whole the club needs money part. And not to like ask for money. TJ called Jaeger actually to try to sell his cursed book. The cursed book, everybody. The emote that we have. The book that, if you read it, you will die. You know what Jaeger's response was? You really want to know what Jaeger's response was? Jaeger laughed. Jaeger just laughed. He's like, you want to fucking sell me my own book back? He's like, I will just go print 1,000 of them. I will print 1,000 of them so that I can put yours out of business. I I'm like, okay. Forget that I even asked Jaeger. He's like, what's the reasonable price? I was like, can I ask for 100 grand from it? Because I don't know how much they're going for. I knew the coffees were like $7,000 a piece, and these things have not been ran for a while, right? I'm like 100. And he goes, you know how like you're on the phone with someone and you got someone in the background, and he's like, hey, yo, Bjorn, hey, Denzel, hey, come here. You want to hear this real quick? You want to hear this? Yo, TJ wants to sell this thing for 100 grand. TJ's face. Sorry I asked, man. So I was like, you know what, Jagger? Let's chill on that for a bit. I'm sorry, man. Like, and he goes, okay, so realistically, why do you guys need money? I'm like, well, our income streams are like nothing right now. We got nothing. Our major way of making money, we were known for busting banks. We can't even get a bank right now. We queue up for a bank, we don't get it. So that's when he offered to do the vault thing. He would trade the vault for, he told me, Bay City banks and jewelries. If we can get them. I don't even know if we can get them. So it's like, damn. Okay. But in the back of my mind, we've never done a vault as a group, except for like once. So it didn't make sense. I'm like, yo, Dundee, time to learn how to hack, buddy. So I knew that wasn't really gonna happen. Yo, Anno, thank you for the reset for 10 months. Appreciate that. It's funny when I made Drop to Lang. There's a chance, yeah, Bank Proud trying to wait to test until BBMC are awake and give them codes. The Dean boys, huh? The Dean boys. Okay. TJ Hacker Arc when? Okay, chat. Chat. Remember when TJ bought a practice laptop? Right? If you saw that, TJ bought a practice laptop, right? We got to use it twice. 15 grand for his practice laptop, right? 15 grand, because he want to learn how to hack. Hey, can I try this? Hey, can we bring this over to Ellie? Hey. Nope. 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 Never buying another one again. Doc can't read, so how can TJ hack? It's a great question. It's a great question. I don't know. He's to buy another practice laptop, not tell anyone. We don't get banks enough as is, so what's he gonna be? Is he gonna be a vault hacker? You know? The only way that I would go about that, again, is if we actually want to take the vault thing seriously and we're going to do it. I thought Jesse got one for Ellie. No. Jesse got TJ's. Lizzie might be able to do it. Unfortunately, Lizzie's not around, man. But yeah, speaking of kind of the hangarounds, I saw this question come up earlier in regards to the app and having people on it. So I guess my stance has, I don't know. I feel differently about kind of the app situation. So it's obviously controlled by D, right? And D has to add and remove people. So if he has to add and remove people, he's gonna be on to do it. But we don't have anyone else that can do that except for D because of the limitations of it. We all know D probably hates administrative things, right? If we had someone that can add, remove people, whatever, it would be a lot better. Okay, so having them a part of an organization that's confirmed a part of it, I can understand the aspect of, are they part of the group, or are they not part of the group, right? They're not technically part of BBMC, so why should it be on the app, right? Does that make sense? But I also can agree with putting them on there because they're at least associated in some form or way with BBMC, and I see no reason why we can't rotate people in and out, especially if we get jobs that we'd like to do. So like I'm awake now usually, right? Like I'm usually in the server right now. And if some of the hangarounds around, like Cap would be around, Faye would be around, and not having them on the app affects also what I do in the server, right? Because now you're affecting what the club does somewhat. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to blow this out of proportion, so keep this like as a comparison very small. I can't technically boost because other people aren't there. So you say it's OOC that the devs don't want to rotate people in because they want it with the app. Yes, but no. Okay, here's why I disagree with this. I disagree with it because groups and organizations are not always on the same time zone, right? We know that we have people that wake up during AU times. We know that we have people wake up during NA times. So essentially, you're splitting the app in half, right? I can only basically go ahead and do boosts with people in the NA times. So I only have a list of 8 people I can do it with, right? You have people that are in the AU times. So they are on that too. So it makes a hard area to go with. It's just like, huh. So, I don't know. I agree with it, but I don't agree with it. Like, for example, CG doesn't need to have everyone on there, right? Yo, Kartrick, thank you for giving a sub. Tabiki Fantasia. So, where CG doesn't have everyone on there, probably, I'm sure they rotate people on. I don't know how other groups are managing it. HOA is large. Oh, I actually want to speak about HOA for a minute. Vagos are like Code's making fun of gangs that are calls 8-hour Andes. You can't have a gang with 16 people also carry 24 hours in the city. You don't feel enough presence. True, basically. I mean, we have people at all points in time, right? But you limit what other people will do because they're not always with each other. Nightbot, rip. Yo, chat, if anyone's generous enough, Nightbot, this little broke. I'm doing well. So where was I at? Sorry. So if I don't even remember my train of thought. The app. CG has a lot of people. HOA has a lot of people. Vagos have a ton of people. I think the goal is to have presence over everything. And the people that are on the app should be those that are doing the heists, right? Jaeger actually said something a little bit to me yesterday of like, are you part of their heist group? I was like, heist group? Huh? So I think that, I mean, the intention obviously is obviously to be used. That's your group for heist, right? Isn't the aim for pushing meth? I don't know. I mean, sure. Yeah, but like, you don't need everyone on there. If you're not doing, if you're not like a, okay. So yeah, here's what I'm gonna say with it. HOA, right? Does it pretty well in terms of their setup. Andy and group with Sis, I mean, they have clean people in there, right? They absolutely have clean people in there. And that those clean people allow them to have the gas station that they have over there. Right? Now they have a passive form of income on top of it. Not only that, Kari is also part of the HOA, CEO of Dodo, right? So they have people in forms that they can benefit from other people outside of the organization, or inside the organization that work for outside organizations, right? So there are people that do a fair amount to the business side. And I understand everyone wants the skill set with it. But they don't need to be part of a heist group per se. Right? They don't need to be on the, if they're not boosting, they're not doing the side to it, they can still be a part of an organization, right? What's wrong with that? Dude, I mean, I'm all for that. Anything that we can mutually benefit each other, like, that's, I don't know, that's my vision for it. That's how I would like to have the organization. I thought that's actually what was going to happen, based upon the conversation that happened the other day at Grandma's, when he said that we need to start inviting us to the business side, as well as focusing on future of the club wise. I was like, yes, is he finally going to get it? Is he finally going to start understanding we can't survive as an organization with just doing boosts, or not boosts in the occasional bank, right? Do you need to, I feel like that's a conversation that Pickle Witch, I feel like it's a wasted, unfortunate conversation right now. Is a gas station based at incline? No. I think there's applications in for that, so I don't think anyone owns it. Yeah. Anyway, Card Trick, thank you for chilling. Appreciate you. Should own it. Well, yeah, that'd be nice. But who's also going to manage that, right? Who's going to manage it? HOA ties that everyone say your BMC is more of a fuck around and shoot first. That's why BMC is never. I mean, so we saw that with the hay stuff, right? Also, props to Shano for creating a fair amount of conflict with that, and Jack Hutto, and accepting kind of what we've been doing with them for it. That's why I tried to change things with how we approached the haze, right? I didn't want the haze situation to just be roll up and shoot them. That's boring. That's literally boring. I don't want to roll up and just shoot people for the hell of shooting them. Because what does that do for their story, right? That doesn't do anything for anyone's story. Just shoot them, okay, great. Now they go retaliate on them. Give them an option. Give them some side that they can actually benefit from it, and let them do what they want to do with it. But now they have a direction that they can take it. And it just makes it that much better for RP overall. And I saw the clip that y'all posted in the Discord. I thought it was actually pretty cool. And I think y'all saw, like, there's a true benefit from that. When we then kidnapped Miguel Mann, the ex-cop, and said that we're going to try to get him a job at Autos. Like, that's more RP from it. There's other ways to RP with people instead of shooting them. Okay. Okay, Jonathan. um yeah, so I think that's the one thing that I'm trying, if I can at most, to, if we can't, God, my eyes are drying up, by the way. If we can talk first and kind of give people options with it, instead of like, all right, do we always need to shoot them? That's kind of my thought on things, right? Can we incorporate further RP with it instead of like gunning them down and, giga chatting the fuck all over them, right? Because giga chat is nice and all, but I don't know. That's not my style. Maybe I guess I've been in RP for, I don't even know how long I've been in RP. 5 years now? 4 years now? I think it's been 5 years in GTA RP. I've moved past the shoot first thing and try to make cool situations for people. So if you guys didn't know, my plan, okay, so when Espino's thing was happening, my plan with Espino's, if I was going to be given the quote unquote contract to do it, and I told Michael this, is that I wanted to create a situation, a scenario, and this kind of gets back to the point where people have options and it becomes an event for people. So my plan for Espinos was to get some of the cameras that Jesse had gotten, have him kidnapped in a room with a bomb underneath him, and that bomb. So okay, there's obviously wires that you can cut, right? The wires would correlate to riddles left around the city. So I would rather have a mini riddle scavenger hunt to save Espinos, like limited to 4 or 5 people, and each riddle would have led to a new location. Each riddle would also be correlated with a certain color. That color would eliminate one of the wires to cut from the bomb. So if you got all the riddles correct, even though if you knew where he was, you needed to actually have the right wire to cut. So instead of just me going up and shooting Espinos, I would rather create a situation out of it. And I think that's where I don't know. I would believe the philosophy of what kind of that style of RP and like the car bombs and things like that take place, instead of just placing them recklessly. Do something that's fun with people. Give me like 2 seconds. I gotta put eye drops in. I'm gonna take off my camera for just a minute. All right, give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna do eye drops. My eyes are like super dry right now. TJ's Jigsaw confirmed. Actually, I was a huge fan of the Saw series. And just the way that they worked. Not in the fan of like a sense of because how gory they were and things like that. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I'm like literally just putting in my eye. Fan of that, he gave people options. So I always admired kind of that style of a movie. Like things that were solvable that people could actually figure their way out of. Oh jeez, dude, I never put eye drops on, so I just definitely missed my eye. Give me a second. Chill, chat. Hold on. Is this Christmas music? No, it's not. Oh. I think there's hope for BBMC. Yeah, if oh my goodness. Oh. It burns. It burns. It burns. It really burns, chat. Oh. It burns. Hmm. Am I right there, mate? Nope. Nope. Chad, do you see how white my hair is, by the way? I'm old. I'm old. All right. Okay. Boomer streamer? Yeah, I know. Oh god. Wow. That's what we're. Oh god. I have cool hair. Thank you. It's like white in the front and then like I don't know, grays out to the side. No, I don't also I don't dye it. Wait, what'd you say? Daddy Doc? No. No, 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 no. Very distinguished, but thank you. Yeah. So anyway, where was I? What questions did I not answer? Sorry, if I was on like a rant at some point, I probably didn't answer a whole lot of questions. I'm sure I missed a whole bunch. Is he still going after Espinosa? I don't think so. Yo, what up, Chip? Doc and Ken both have daddy vibes. I mean, I think that's why I probably vibe with Ken a fair amount. Yeah, I think that's also why Ken and I were pretty. I mean, I liked Ken a lot from when I was involved with him in 2.0 in the group 404 that lasted like 3 weeks before he got my character killed. Thanks, Ken. Yo, that was the weirdest text to speech right there. Yeah, so I don't think that he is probably going to be after Espinosa, truthfully, if I'm going to be honest, because it would have already happened, and it was told to him that Seaside already kind of snatched him up, but doesn't really know exactly what happened to him. Hold on, let me go back here. How does CJ feel about CV and mentioning how much she won the club? I think TJ was slightly confused with Stevie's side to it, but knows what he knows where she's coming from. 100% agrees, because Stevie has had the conversation with TJ a lot about Cody. I first thought that Stevie was kind of like wanting to go after and like tear D apart, but from all the other conversations, she never trusted Cody. So I wasn't sure if she was like going after Cody or going after D with like her side to it. So I I wasn't sure exactly what was happening there. It was a little. I guess I believe me. I 100% agree with what she said. It was a little confusing to me though, as to which side she was going with it. It was parts of both, yeah. I think both. I know the background that she was not trusting Pez for forever, ever since Chip was like brought into the organization. That conversation, TJ and CV rode back from the whole Chip reveal, and she was not happy. She was like, "No, no, don't. I don't trust Pez. I don't trust anything about this. Like, after this, yada yada." She was not happy, right? And so that's where a lot of that distrust from her side came from. And so that's why I thought she was gonna go like rip Cody a new one. Does TJ see himself leaving the club if things don't change soon? No, he's blooded in. He can't leave the club. He just wants the club to be a better version of himself, and so that people actually are enjoyed being their time there and not going after each other's throats. What will happen with TJ Simone relationship is Seaside goes to war with BBMC. I mean, Simone warned TJ that was going to happen. He said it's inevitable at some point. It's not like a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And Simone just gave him the side, said, hey, Simone's not going to participate in it. Don't worry. So yeah, I mean, I still think the relationship is cordial, and I still like all the Seaside guys. I don't understand like if there would be any beef with them or not, but I mean, I talk to JJ here and there. When I work with them, Simone obviously a part of that. Yeah, so I mean, I like the Seaside guys. I mean, I've never had an issue with them. Obviously Ash and Reggie and those guys have been down, and Benji. It's a shame that an application on our phone is, or on our laptop, is dictating how people go to war with each other or over territory, when honestly nothing is even really makes sense as to what it benefits you, other than here's a territory and you get to spray. You're choosing to go to war with someone over something that isn't even like around. Like, we don't even know what happens with these sprays. Nobody knows what. So you're literally trying to enforce or to instigate a war between an organization because of an application on your laptop says you need more sprays. What does that get you? No one knows what it gets you because the locals are fucked as hell. We haven't had locals in how fucking long? Does it make sense? No. So why in character, other than the fact that you want to expand your territory, for what benefit right now? Yo, Frantic Limbs, thank you for this. Appreciate that. So, TJ and Bendy should talk then. No, that's a D conversation. TJ is just a prospect. It has the intention, but doesn't know if they're implemented. It's exactly what I'm saying. If it's not implemented, why are we doing something under the assumption that it was going to do something? Right? If it actually means something to someone and they actually want to go to war with it, then make it meaningful other than just I'm going to spray down a spray. Because this all becomes a financial war of, can you afford now to take off someone else's spray and put on your own spray when they continually go up $10,000 per? This is literally a financial war off anything. Yes, I did go through all the offline subs. Thank you, Zemi, if this is the first time you've been around. So I have trouble because, like I said, we don't have any passive income anymore, and we got majorly nerfed in terms of our bank side to it. And our bank plus our cleaning operation was like our major money maker, right? We would go sell meth, we would clean the bags from meth, and we deposit that. Now we just sell the meth, and so that takes off a huge portion, because we don't just get like 70K off going to do that. I could clean 70K in like 2 hours, right? But in 2 hours in meth, I'll make like 50. So instead of my potential profit being 120,000, I make like 50,000, maybe 60,000. I don't know, but we will lose every financial war. That's how it will be. We don't have anything else outside of that. So that's why I don't particularly enjoy the space that we're in, because we are being forced to find different ways to make money where our bread and butter was taken away from us, or we don't get it, right? Which I can understand from a bank busting standpoint. Cops were like, yo, do I really have to go to another 80? Do I really have to go to another 80? Like, it was at one after the other, after the other, after the other, right? It was a lot. How do you balance it between those that are light criminals versus gang criminals, right? A cop's going to another house robbery. Oh, dude, there was like 8 cops for a house robbery at one point. Like everyone was all about this house robbery shit now because obviously the tow ropes and things like that. I don't know. If D&B saw people busting their ass with oxy meth hunting, yeah, I mean, D has come over to TJ and said like, "Yo, I appreciate what you're doing. I know this sucks, yada yada." And that's when the conversation happened. I'm like, "Yeah, it sucks also to see you just blow through $80,000 worth of club shit when I spent 2.5 hours doing this for you. Like, your concept of money sucks because I will sit here and clean all these things, but I'm not doing it for you to blow it off in 2 seconds. There's no way in hell do I have any incentive to do that. And then to hear that the money was missing, fuck, why do I make money for the club? Why? Other than the fact that it needs it to function, if they're gonna be reckless with it, someone else can make the shit. Yo, what up, Try Digi? How are you? Zero concept of money? I know. It's only when D is told that he can't do something does he bring up money and thinks that we can just go ahead and snap our fingers and have it given to us. Like, there's a lot of hard work that happens with that. Yo, Reina, 321, thank you for the resub. So, give you context, right? So Jesse does Dodo, and he can make technically 36,000 just about on Dodo. I talked to someone earlier today, that I see do Dodo a fair amount. Okay? Like, I see this person grinding Dodo. They also work at autos. They said it took her months upon months to even get to the point where she can make $15,000 on Dodo. 15. So we have this stigma that everything we do with Dodo is this like stupid money. But we have people here that are spending months grinding their way up to go from like junior driver to senior driver so that they can get $15,000 in their entirety of the runs. We are ridiculously lucky to have the ability to have Jesse do it for 36. Like, he's up there in Dodo, right? He's absolutely up there. Yo, Zemi, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Appreciate it. Thank you, Zemi. Very, very, very kind of you. And once again, thank you for the gifted subs and bits from offline. I really do appreciate that. Yo, Trickster Jag, thank you for the tier 3 sub. I appreciate that. Thank you, seriously. And Damien, yeah, no, absolutely. Damien as well. I understand the perspective of it's a character trait for people not wanting to do Dodo, or why be a criminal, but why do Dodo on the side to it. I mean, I get it. But sometimes there's a swallow the pride moment. And when you got nothing else and you're asking a lot of people to basically donate you money, well then we got issues. Because I don't deal with a whole lot of donations. If I feel like we get something, like I said, I don't like to ask people for things. What I get is what I earn. So, yeah. Spice Misa, how are you? Thank you for the tier 3 again, Spice Misa. You guys are coming in with tier 3 bobs over here. How much value there is in Jesse being a Dodo hookup? No, I don't think that. I mean, they just make fun of it, but in reality, it's a way that the club talks out their issues. It's a reality that it brings the ability to have people pay for their asset fees. Like when asset fees came up as a topic of conversation yesterday for the S pluses. Yo, it's like we don't pay for the S plus asset fees to begin with. So why are we bringing this up? Jesse pays for his own things. Like, no, we don't pay any of that. And to see and to hear, I didn't even realize Barry had like 3 A's. We are wasting so much money, and we've probably wasted, I want to say like $200, maybe $300,000, maybe even more, maybe $400,000 in asset fees because we have mismanaged where the cars and who owns the cars. By triple stacking the cars on Barry's side to it and him having 120 plus in asset fees makes 0 sense. Nothing. Not any part of that makes sense. We have mismanagement out the ass. It made no sense whatsoever. Play Ruby. I know. At the hospital, I'm so sorry about that. I knew that was you as well. So, I'm going to say an unpopular thing with this, but we have more houses than we have more keys for people. Right? Spread the cars among the people so that we're not basically screwing ourselves up. For me, it looks like BBMC is in critical state. You can say that though, but also I will say BBMC is also at their best when they're in a critical state. They act the best that they can do because it means that much more to them, and they're that much more deadly when they're in that state. So people think that if they go ahead and probably like attack us when we're down or whatever, I don't think they realize that's probably the worst time to attack us. When we have an excess of money that we don't know what to do with, is probably the best time to attack us, because then we're not like on the extremely hardcore mode. You get us when we're down, and I think that's what's gonna be an issue for a lot of people. If BBMC has all the money in the world, they'd probably be even more bored. I don't think so. Shiny ball syndrome? Yes. That was a big... I don't think I really touched on this as well, but that was also a slight kind of thing with TJ and P for a little bit. Was kind of like, okay, hey, we have the pit, we have Porsche, we have beach team. Can y'all talk to me what you see at beach team right now? Can we have that conversation? Where's beach team? We have the loans. The loan business apparently was supposed to be a thing. Okay. That went nowhere. I don't know. It was like I didn't understand where the priorities were. So like we had beach team. It was supposed to be like Pez and Junior, right? What is the idea of it? It has never been explained to me what beach team is really going to be. What are they going to do? Right? We have like an idea, a great idea. Hey, you want to be part of this beach team? What is it? If your own club doesn't know what it is, then what is it? Yeah, what up, Cole? How are you? If I don't know what to tell people with it, then I'm sorry. Like, that's where a little more frustration starts to grow with it, right? So when there was a priority to basically do a beach team, I'm like, okay, well, what are they gonna do? And then that just kind of died, right? It makes sense. And then we were discussing that there's a potentially like a loan business. Okay, that didn't really go anywhere. Then True Blue Towing was actually going to be towing thing for, I guess, for a bit, and Okay. I'd still like to do the holding company or whatever we're gonna do with this, so that we can actually own Vespucci. But that's not really been a priority either. So I think where a lot of frustration lies is that the priorities are not aligned appropriately, other than content. I'm gonna say it. Do we actually want to run it? So if the club is going to be based upon that, then I don't, you kind of asked it, I don't see it going terribly much further. Because right now, I'm not planning on draining TJ's bank account or people that are going to be unwilling to do other things. Loving TJ's progress in the club, seeing interaction with Barry. Yeah, thank you, appreciate that. Why does it feel like this is Christmas music right now? Do you know how many people would love the opportunity to be aligned to whitelist gang? Ton? I know, absolutely. You don't hear any music? Have you not heard any music the entire time? Oh, I haven't had music on here at all. Wow. Let me fix that. I told you, new streamer, by the way. Hold on. How do I figure this out? You also don't hear the alerts? Oh man. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. Give me a sec. Oh, big me. I don't need that big me. So I'm gonna use the intro screen, just do it over there. There we go. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that you were not hearing any music. My fault. It's only been a month. You kidding? I know it actually has been a month. Don't, you can say that all you want. Yo, what up, Tones? Okay. So, Lopez, that's more pressure you put on him, the club. The sooner he and the club will break. I agree. I think he's in a situation that is extremely hard to be in. I think part of that is self-actuated. I don't believe that's without him doing it on his own side to it, but at the same time, it's also the club putting pressure onto him as well. I don't disagree with that. It's a very hard situation to be in because everyone's going to look at the person for the money side to it when we don't have money. Simply put. Yeah, it's hard. Yo, thank you, J-Rod. Appreciate that. So he's in a very undesirable position to be in. This is how it is. Do you wake him? I don't give a fuck about Cleo. Maybe, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, if he enjoys RPing with her, then go for it. Like I said, I just didn't see where that arc was going for a bit. I don't know. I was confused with the arc. Taking ability kids, emptying bank accounts. Yeah. Looks like Pez might have been bloated out. They see taking a treasure roll if that happened. I don't know. It'd be a treasure roll, maybe. I don't know. Seems that people have said TJ wants it, but I would rather have TJ focus on the business side to it than anything else. I still stand by the fact that I don't think that a treasurer should hold power in an organization. That's part of slightly a little OC coming into me, because I have been part of organizations. I'm not gonna say like similar to BBMC, but I've been part of organizations that are clubs that function the best with a treasurer as more of a support thing. Because when you control the money and you control part of the power, you are actually the most powerful person in the organization. Do you think him running off as an escape? Yes, because it's one of those things, like, it's better to be seen than it is to be heard. And we never saw him. I never saw him. That's why if you don't see someone but you hear from them, you start to formulate opinions easier, right? And so if TJ never saw P and he only saw P with something that was, from his perspective, a club organized event where she was taken out, how does that look for him? Right? So plus everything else, yeah, the escape is I think the escape from the club has backfired and caused a little bit more distrust. What if D was a treasurer? Yeah, right. Would TJ ever want to assist the club in money matters? I, once again, would have loved to focus on business things for the club if that was a possibility, in the work on connections of what we could do as an organization. I think that we saw what H&O happened with that and how quickly we're able to turn a car around. It's funny to me, holy shit, that the conversation the other night was of regards to reselling cars, when the entire conversation before the update was like, I don't see any value in it. We don't make a whole lot of money for it. You only make 150,000? Well, shit, that 150,000 right now is better than the $0 fucking dollars that we're getting now. Plus, it wasn't just 150,000, it was also $130,000 on top of the club on side of it that they brought into their own pockets, because the entirety of it was BBMC related and I paid people for it. So I paid people $130,000 and then they have the 150 on top. So it actually brought the club $280,000. So when that whole conversation came up about selling cars as a business, that's where the money is, I was clenching my teeth at that one, because the one possibility that we had is something, unfortunately, was screwed. Do you think Pez Cody can rebuild a trust again with members of the club? I think he can. I think he can. So I'll go back to a part that I just want to try to remember this correctly. It's a line that he had said to TJ. It was along the lines of, the road is going to be a long one, and if you show any sort of doubt in your heart, if you show any doubt in the heart, I believe it was something along the lines of, it's like something all over with that, and I have to remember the context with that. But it was like, they're going to not trust you if you show any doubt. So the same words that he told TJ is kind of what it is with it. So it's a long road, and I think that same quote applies to Pez the character now, because that's essentially what he's fighting against again. So it's almost reverse role, right? It's at least to TJ, this is Pez getting back into good graces, right? Yo, Kami Luna, thank you for the sub for 7 months. Appreciate that. I think how you play people off one another. I mean, part of it, yeah. You're back. Well, welcome back. So yeah, it's almost like a role reversal. The one looking outside the in, the other one in the out right now, right? I will die, unfortunately. I kind of agree. It's kind of where it's at. Being loose-lipped all over the city. Yeah, that's the thing. So, will TJ try to talk to Pez? He tried calling him today, no answer. Tried calling him yesterday, no answer as well. Pretty sure he was around once he saw his car. So this goes back to the where it was like 2 or 3 months ago, where he would try to talk to him. He knows he's around, but just doesn't pick up. So I don't know. To be fair, a lot of what he said was just a little more. Yeah, I mean, there are things that are definitely true. There is truth behind them. There absolutely is truth behind them. Yo, what up, AZ? How are you, buddy? So yeah, when those things like start to come out, but what are you doing? Are you perpetuating more problems towards the club at that point rather than trying to solve them? You're actively causing more issues instead of generating solutions, right? So, and believe me, I can understand probably the solution or the side to it is like, hey, well, I've tried this, I've tried that, and nothing happened, so I'm done with that, right? It's almost like the a Spider-Man quote, right? Let me find it. What's the quote? Is it Spider-Man? Hold on. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Not great. That's one I was looking at. Not the great power comes great responsibility, but both of them actually. And I think that's what's kind of becoming true. It's Batman. That's what I figured. Sorry, it was Batman. So I feel like that applies to it right now. Is yeah, either die a hero or live long enough to be some villain. I think that's what he's suffering from right now. You're nerds. All good. No worries. Yeah. So anything else? I mean, if not, I might kind of just go grab food afterwards. I had PoE learning as a thing, but I might just kind of grab food. I wasn't expecting this to go 2 hours. But oh, we talked about the PD shift the other day, actually. What up, Timmy? Path of Exile. Learning how to play it. I've never played Path of Exile, and there's like a huge learning curve, so I'd be a complete newbie. So, Shimmery food, I know. There was a meth run that was happening. I think Hydra did it, and I got on duty. I was like, yo, all right, meth run, let's go. I'll get down for like good chases and stuff like that. And I haven't really been on duty like actively since they hired a lot of people, but that also is like another just shit show situation. I'd say even worse than what we've experienced over the past few weeks. Like, they have hired a ton of people, and their retention is extremely low. And what I saw yesterday, it's like people being burnt out, whatever. What I saw yesterday was no incentive for me to do anything PD related again. Like, the demeaning of the people that were there instead of trying to correct what they were doing. I'm sorry. Like, man, I heard... I mean, listen, I respect the hell out of a lot of people, man. Snow and I are good friends. I could hear his disdain for what was happening right now. or during that situation, I could physically feel probably how he was feeling with it. And then the Martell just like getting on the radio calling everyone a whole bunch of idiots and like they suck, yada yada. After she had not been in the situation, I was like, listen, do I really want to be doing this right now? Like, this is supposed to be for fun. That's not fun. Like, I'm good. We out. So, Forever Dead. I'll make it a quest for you. All right, I'll make it a quest. Yeah. So, right when like those words were said, I was like, "Yo, 42, good night." Like, I'm out. There was no. That just felt terrible. Isn't that like 70% of Martel's character yelling and being a bitch? There's times for that though. Yes. When it's actively clogging up radio instead of communicating things, it's not needed. You can be a bitch other ways. Not that. Don't be there. Like that's actually toxic to be toxic. At that point, I felt like as a character, instead of like trying to fix things and like take control of a situation, you're actually making it worse. So that's why I said like toxic, because you're making it worse. Instead of trying to lead it, it's just like, nah, I don't want to lead it. I'm just gonna shit on it and what everyone else is doing. Has JT met Sweets yet? Not really. It was there for like when I did the interview, and it was more of like an OC good luck bullshit. So I would say no, they don't know each other. But yeah, it was enough that I have no desire to go play that character right now. I really don't. And it's a shame because I had been a cop for 2 years as a prime character. And I was like, this is my first day back. Like, I'm good, man. I'm good. Up TJ and the BBMC, the level headed that adds to BBMC. Well, thank you. Funny DJ and TJ from yeah, go for it. Doesn't want to be yelled at. I mean, yeah, there's a fair amount of yelling, not gonna lie. I think that's kind of what happens with PD right now, is that those that are promoted are the ones that are most vocal about it. The ones that do a good job just kind of fly under the radar, but those that want to be vocal and start to go after other people are unfortunately the ones that are probably going to end up being the ones that are promoted, because they probably are the most visual. They're heard and seen. All right, hold up, let me take a look. Oh, hold on, I think I know what this is. Is this the get your name out of your mouth thing? Hold on, my name out of your mouth. Hold on 1 sec. Yeah, I knew what that was. Anyway. Except on Davenport? Yeah, Davenport's solid. I think club needs CJ more than ever because CJ has goals. I'm struggling to find goals with him right now. I think that's why I really haven't streamed a whole lot, is that I don't really know what to work towards with him right now, because to get anything that's a business right now within this server is ridiculous. That would have had to been like a year ago, right? Believe me, if it came down to it, I would literally go say, here's $5,000. Can you model me, 3D model me a business and give me like dev things or whatever? Like, I would pay for the modeling. Just so, like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, an outside person just to model it, so it wouldn't have to take away from, like, if someone could actually be like, here you go, I would 100% just pay for it. Storefronts, well, storefronts aren't open right now. TJ corrupting Bundy slowly. I don't think Bundy I don't think Bundy will ever leave. But I also he would never, I don't think he'd ever join BBMC first off. I don't think he'd ever leave PD. I think the conversation between TJ and Bundy in regards to him asking for the AWM kind of put Bundy's relationship with PBMC into, at least from TJ's perspective, as to into question, that he's probably not against entirely possibly screwing over BBMC at one point if he was trying to get him to go talk to Michael about an AWM. Like, think about how silly this is for a second, right? Bundy asked TJ to go get a sniper rifle from Michael. Meanwhile, telling him Michael shot him. So that I go to Michael to get the sniper rifle so that he can shoot Michael. Excuse me? Like, it's not like everything that I talk to in terms of Michael is the RP around it, right? So, hey, why does this person want something that they can't get? Doesn't PD have a sniper rifle? Oh, 100%. So, but he said the irony of Bundy shooting Michael with the same weapon. So, yeah, I can see the irony of it, but you're still asking me to ask the person who shot you so that you can shoot them. So, to me, that was a sign that he's not at any point in time unwilling to basically just snake over on TJ real quick. It just, that conversation was a complete, like, what the fuck moment. Is the most loved? Oh, I wouldn't say that. I'd say a lot of people actually hate PVMC. As someone that plays in the server, they hear people that just like, yo, fuck over BBMC, like, oh yeah, let's go for it. I wouldn't say that we're one of the most loved gangs. Real. I don't think we're much of a adored one. I think that's a little copium if you think we're one of the most loved ones. Yeesh. Hated in character, but loved. Yeah, no, I agree. Des put Rubble in front of Hayes. Yeah, it was pretty sick. Not gonna lie, mad props to them for actually doing that. Love the OC, sure, but they also love to hate us in character. We deserve more love. They deserve the same treatment other gangs get. I mean, we have opportunities. I think a lot of us probably have opportunities, and you know, it's just whether we take the you know, go ahead and seize those. So I don't know. Yo, what up, Kobe? 38 months. What up? Listen, y'all are having like 9-month babies. Kobe's got 38 over here. All right. Is anyone BBC? No, I don't. I have not heard of Bundy paying dues. But yeah. 6 another one incoming. Fair. Has anyone asked you? Yes, Peach from PD said that. Asked how TJ was doing in regards to at-home food, because apparently he was not able to eat and little TJ was needing food, and she apparently gave $75,000 Uh, so I was like, I actually turned that a little bit back. I was like, yeah, you know, he's using it for bare minimum things right now. And we're barely able to, you know, if you'd like to keep donating to the fund, we're able to just kind of get back onto our feet. I'd be happy to pass that along to him as well. So I was like, yo, all right, let me see if I can capitalize on that 75 grand real quick. Let me just like snake into this. It didn't work out though. Yo, what up, Fable? How you doing, buddy? Long for 5 months, limited streams. Keep up, dog. Thank you. Appreciate that. And we full of scammers. I was like, well, if it worked once, let's go again. Good internal RP doesn't interact much with the city. Their home turf doesn't encourage much civic RP. Very true, actually. You look at, for example, like man up to the event, the maze, right? They went and got a whole bunch of people. They did a big filming at the maze thing. HOA just did the battle pass. The CG was doing like, they do Wu-Chang Records. They do, I mean, they have their businesses on top of it, but I mean, they do a lot of things for civilian side to it as well. They put a lot of events together. Like people also did the prom last night too. So yeah, it's I do think that we are a circumstance that because we have so much internal things happening that externally we don't make ourselves a known thing as much as we should. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think we do a whole lot for the city, unfortunately. Dundee driving school will make a lot of money. Actually, it would be good. What would be even better is if Dundee had a driving school and got into an actual police chase and taught people how to drive with a passenger on the side. So like, here's a police chase. He's in this police chase. You got a passenger here, and he talks people through the thought process of doing it and be like, take notes. Real life driving school experience and training while in an actual police chase. This is what you should do. Oh man, it's not like it would cost them anything either, right? Because it's not like you would go pay Dundee in transfer. You would actually just give Dundee money. He had it in cash and he just gives it back to people, right? Several relatives and friend connections can't be all that helpful and enjoyable to watch. Well, that's what I was trying to go with the other day of instead of just shooting them, can we extend different forms of RP, man? So yeah, gosh, my eyes are still actually bugging me right now, chat. I'll do like another 10 minutes before I get off. I need to stop staring at the screen. My eyes are actually drying out again. And go grab food. So any kind of allergies, yes. My allergy season is actually terrible. Where I'm at, pollen is all over the place. Yeah. So any kind of last minute questions before I wrap it up? Saw 5 amps streamed on Andrews the other day. This is back in the city. Yeah, it was. I miss Andrews. Andrews is a good dude. Yo, Pink Uni, thank you for 5. Get to appreciate that. Jin and Pain with his 600 biddies. Thank you. Love your home, dog. Well, thank you. You're talking about like the home behind me, or home like actually streaming. Gosh, yeah, my actual. Every question I gotta think about that. Coachella thing, I think it's been done a few times. How does TJ feel about Norman? He doesn't know Norman, other than he doesn't really care for him. He never knew Norman, never met Norman, wasn't going to pretend to meet Norman, so it's not like I would sit there and like try to overstep. Yoda Betch, thank you for the tier 3 reset for 9 months. Appreciate that. How do you think TJ could actually get into high command and head the changes without being perceived as overstepping? Everyone thinks that TJ already oversteps. Let's be real. I don't know. don't see TJ being given a patch anytime soon because of him actually speaking his mind on things. I don't see him being high command because honestly, I don't feel like there's much progression for people inside the club either. It's not really a conversation that people have. It's not one that is really brought up. You don't see it really happening other than Junior's last one, which was promoted, and Jesse's. You don't see hangarounds being promoted. You don't see prospects being promoted, or even discussed in that matter. So I don't think that as it is now, that probably even go back up. So I don't foresee him possibly moving up at all, truthfully. I don't think the club has enough focus on themselves to even consider that right now. Yo, Betch, once again, thank you again for the tier 3 for 9 months. And then Letter Goose, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate you. It's so slow, can get soul crushing. I agree. I don't think that a lot of that's rewarding, but I don't really have any right. Like, I'm not trying to complain with this, right? This is actually, I'm just trying to feel those facts. I'm not trying to complain. It's just how it is. I don't see him progressing because that's how it is. It's not like, oh, sorry, no, woe is me, like, let me cry about it. Like, it's just how it is, flat out. I'm not trying to be like, oh, let me go ahead and please promote. No, stop. Like, it's not what I'm talking about with it. That's not like I'm trying to get with it. I'm saying I don't think as a club that's our focus. I don't think people have put focus into it. I haven't seen anyone really put focus into it because Faye has been a hang around longer than I have been a prospect. Josie Monteliet, thank you for the tier 1, and Zemi with the 5 more on top of it. Thank you, Zemi. Appreciate that. Thank you. TJ make a good high command. I don't know. So he already kind of speaks his mind to it because encouraged, and when it's like a catch-22, right? Barry wants TJ to speak his mind and encourages the conversations between TJ and Barry, and says that he wants him to speak his mind. But when TJ speaks his mind with others, it is taken as he's overstepping and that he doesn't know his place. So there's a very much conflicted want out of what happens from his side, because Barry will encourage him to think and to have those conversations with him. But the moment that it's brought externally, it's seen as him overstepping. And so that's why the whole hang around quote unquote mentality, which I fucking hate that line, personally, in character and out of character, is actually insulting to him. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't think he has a hang around mentality. I think he wants them to be the best version that they can be. And he's seeing the flaws from someone from his outside perspective, and is trying to actively help them change that or fix those things so that they can patch it up. And it's seen with resistance with it. So, yeah, that is, I think that's where it's happening with that. I do need that. I need that. Do you think I could have gone through the whole hang around process as is? No, I don't think I could have. The hang around process is good for characters that are not established. The hang around process sucks for characters that are established, because it requires you to only be and live for that possibility of joining. The characters that are established have outside connections, and when they are seen outside of that, is viewed as that they're not technically like Bondi, right? Or there's issues. So Cap is killing it straight up. Cap has been like superstar. Mad props to Cap. Yo, take me to space. 11 months. Thank you. Yo, what up, Saab? What's going on, boss man? How you doing? You're so hot. You're so hot, man. I miss you. Yo, all me. Yeah, I've been good, dude. I've been good, just chilling. It's my first time streaming like a month. I'm just talking about some internal club stuff. Yeah, Cap has been killing it, man. That dude is just like full on send it. And I love it. I love it. Cap's just straight chill. Stop, I think you're coming in towards the end of that, but yeah. I think I'm probably gonna start wrapping up, guys. Like I said, my eyes are just like pollen as fuck right now, so they're drying out, and me staring at a screen right now just means I need to get a little off the computer right now and just make dinner. So okay, Prius, yes, you have slept. Well, you were right here, weren't you? You're on the couch. It's a little different. Yeah, AZ slept there too. Yes. I think Prius, did you come to the one that Skadoodle came to? I think Ska was up here too. I wasn't sure if you were that one or that you were in another room. I'm pretty sure you and Skadoodle both have slept up there. What's for dinner? I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. All right, chat, I'm gonna wrap it up. I've been just speaking in my mind for 2.5 hours. Once again, none of this goes to any streamers whatsoever. Please, this is all stuff of thoughts of like in character wise. Absolutely love everyone that is part of the community with it, and I want nothing but the best for any of them, any of us. I want what we do in game to be enjoyable. I want to enjoy the experience that we got with everyone, and truthfully, I just hope that we can make more memories out of it and continue to be the community that we are. I want to see us as the best version of ourselves, basically, and build that. So, I mean, no ill will to anyone. So even if this conversation seemed like it was targeted towards people or individuals, I do not want that to be seen as such. So, yo, thank you all for the hearts. Appreciate that. Seriously. I'm not sure when I'll be live again. I will see, I guess, when I feel like streaming again. GTA might take me a little bit to get back into it till I truly feel like TJ has a purpose, and can work towards something. So yeah, my thoughts. Anyway, thank you all for being here once again.